Hello there, welcome to Tech and Cash. Today we're gonna do a post-game review with Flan from Winging It. How are you doing, Flan?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, always a pleasure. All right, just a little bit of background for this game that we're going to review today. So this game comes from the Alpine Swift ABC tournament, which is the first tournament on the Discord server that feature the recently released European expansion. So we live streamed this game, but funny thing is, somehow I had some technical issues and my live commentary didn't go through. So I thought it would be a good idea that I invite Flan to do a post game commentary with me. And I think this would be a very interesting game as well to review. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna jump straight to it. So this is a game of Mother Love versus Chop from the tournament server. Both very good players, and yeah, quite an exciting match that I remember. So Mother Love is going first here. Um, I remember Mother Love picked very quickly with this starting. Oh,
Mm,
actually, no, it's Chop going first. My apologies. Uh, Not the greatest starting hand, but Chop got the Uloges and the
yeah,
Martin. Yeah.
yeah, it feels pretty straightforward. And then I guess it's about whether you go for the hummingbird in the tray.
Yeah.
Probably that's something you look to pick up when you've not got any sort of food generating or forest bird in your hand. I think that's the kind of bird you look to go for straight away, really.
Yeah, the hummingbird definitely very tempting there when you have no forest. And the question I had at the time was like, do you go for full wetland engine here with just hummingbird and
Yeah,
martin?
I mean, I to be honest, I probably would have kept maybe one or two birds from the starting hand, not to play, but just to cycle with the martin,
Yeah.
because you've not got any um, wetland birds to play. So I've done that quite a few times. You
Mm-hmm.
just play a tuck and draw, and then you cycle through, and you can expect to find something to go in the wetlands within a few turns at least.
Yeah. And Mother Love options here.
Mm,
It's
this is weird.
interesting. Yeah. A lot of birds that take seed. I mean, on
Yeah,
it was a very ambitious pickup.
yeah, that feels a bit greedy.
Yeah, four birds. But it might be they're spending one cards for, food or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I don't mind the crossbill. I think that's quite a good pickup.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
a couple of food for 6 points, get some extra food as well. Helps the end around. And the Gallinule is nice as well. The Santor Crane's a bit odd. Um, I don't know. That feels quite expensive, and the same for the woodpecker as well. But if they are getting a lot of seeds, maybe you can get that woodpecker down pretty quickly, and getting that second forest bird is so nice.
Yeah. And again, for Chop here, the safer play I think
Mm,
is to play Martin in the grassland and then Hummer as a
100%.
woodland bird. Um, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming is he gonna play the Martin in the wetlands then?
and he
Oh, I don't
did.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
It's a very risky play because,
Very,
with
yeah,
wetland engine you really want to have a tuck and lay like an egg source. With just Martin, it's really only a 1 point engine.
nah.
Yeah.
Especially with the sandpiper there. I think you pick up the sandpiper, you play that in the wetlands. That's going to get you cards, and then you can use the Martin to cycle. I think that's really where the strength would have been.
Yeah.
Um, Using that in that sense, I don't really see the Martin working necessarily here. I mean, you're kind of gambling at this point that you find like a bush tit or a blackbird or something like that. But if you don't find that, then you're kind of stuck with what you've got.
Yeah. Um, so you were saying like maybe pick up the sandpiper and pick and play hummingbird and martin in the grassland.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember if was the sandpiper there before you played the hummingbird. I'm not sure, but certainly I think as soon as that sandpiper comes up, I think you pick that up and you put that down.
Yeah.
So you can use the hummingbird to get the food pretty straightforwardly for that as well as the martin. So I
Yeah.
think that's how I would have gone for that. But yeah, Mother Love, I think that's kind of what I saw coming.
Yep.
Use the extra seeds from the crossbill. You play the woodpecker, and then pretty straightforward to get the food for this gallinule as well. So that still leaves them a turn to lay eggs in the forest as well if they want to go for this end of round goal.
Yep. And Chop obviously pick up quite a few key tugging bird
Mm,
here. Like Chop pick up the
mm,
ruff and also the chaffinch, which is, given that
yeah.
wetland engine could be quite powerful.
Yeah, I mean the rough. I think the rough is kind of the pick there. Obviously, they've got the bunting as well, so I'll be interested to see if they do play that. But absolutely, I think the rough. Yeah, you kind of have to get that down. Just the points alone make it worthwhile, but also that extra card cycle is really important.
Yeah, I mean the first round rough basically like you can
Yeah,
potentially score up to 12 points, which is very strong.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think yeah, that was just interesting in one turn. Chop opened up a lot of options, like you say, bunting,
Mm.
rough, and chaffinch. So very nice draw there.
Yeah, I mean, if they, if they want to play this bunting, they can get food in the grasslands, they can get food in the wetlands. So it gives them options at least, I think, and yeah, should help maybe avoid the forest entirely this game.
Yeah. And with Mother Love Forest setup, it also relieve a
Mm,
lot of pressure for them to activate their
right.
hummingbird. So
Yeah, yeah, it's good in that sense, but also, they are getting some free seeds from this crossbill, so
yeah.
that sort of supplements the hummingbird and maybe that bunting as well a little bit. So that's very nice.
Yeah, look at this rough here doing some
Here we go.
heavy
Yeah.
lifting.
Oh no! Don't
Bunting is
tuck the
gone.
bunting. Oh, Chop, you're making so many mistakes. What are you doing?
Bunting is gone.
Oh, and
Oh,
then
look
he's
at that.
eagle.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it Mother? Yeah, Mother Love going first. That's a no-brainer. You
Yeah,
pick
that
that up.
was really no brainer. The biggest point
Yeah.
bomb you can get. Um, yeah, I think at this point game is pretty equal. Mother Love has a
Mm,
pretty strong points on the table,
yep.
just like raw bird points.
Yep. Yeah. The stilt was quite a nice pickup as well. I think there
Yes.
for Mother Love, they already got the food. They get that down. Now they can save on eggs. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not too surprised to see that go down.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, kind of cards is the key. They need as many cards as possible to get this
Bonelli's
Benelli's
Eagle.
Eagle at
Yeah.
some point. Yeah, then they're certainly not going to be short on their ability to draw
Yeah.
cards.
Well, Gallinew is gonna help with that, so I think that's
Yeah.
synergized well.
Okay.
Um,
So not a terrible pickup there. The Blackbird, I think that's quite nice
yeah.
for Chop. You can you get that in the
Pivot.
grasslands.
Yeah.
You're gonna have so many extra cards, particularly the Gallinual from Mother Love is going to give him loads. So, if he gets the Blackbird down, that's 5 points in the grasslands. So that's really, really nice. So,
Yeah.
the eggs have got to come from somewhere. So I think that's a good option for Chop to go with.
Yeah. At this point, I was feeling a little bit. So I remember for the next few turn, Chop drew a lot of cards.
Oh, yeah. Well, it seems like he's going the Chaffinch route.
Yeah.
Hmm, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think you obviously you get the extra tucks, and fewer eggs, so you can maybe run that a little bit longer, but you need more cards. So, you want cards left over for the rough. So you kind of don't want to be tucking them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This does feel like a few too many turns drawing cards for me.
I was definitely feeling very nervous for Chop, but at the same time, I was
Mm,
thinking like because they have the Chaffinch, does that mean like they currently actually have kind of a 3 points wetland
yeah,
engines?
you can think about it that way.
Yeah.
Effectively every card they draw, you'd expect is going to be turned into points with a Chaffinch, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I probably would have still gone with the Blackbird. Yeah, it's the same number of points and needs fewer cards to feed it. So
Yeah.
I don't think egg space would have been too much of a problem at this point for Chop. They've still got plenty more birds that are going to score points that they're going to look to play anyway.
Yeah. I mean, also I don't know if you missed that they also drew the white stork, which is kind
Yeah,
of a key for that engine there.
it is. And yeah, the White Stork and the Chaffinch, I'm not really sure that works particularly well. I think White Stork with the Brewer's Blackbird, I think that works quite well because you pick up something and then you can tuck it if it's not good, or if it is good, you can tuck something else from your hand. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
I don't mind. I don't mind it.
I guess the thing about the Brewer's Blackbird is that you gotta find some way to spend those eggs as well. Otherwise, you're gonna
You
reduce it
do,
back to just tug. Yeah.
you do, but like I said, I think he's probably got enough cards in his hand that he looked to play. He's got this whooping crane. I'd imagine that's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
This flycatcher, the stork that we've already talked about, maybe even the hermit thrush. So lots of options. They're going to clear out some eggs as well as give you a bit more space. So yeah, I think he could have gone the other way, but this also works fairly well.
Yeah. I remember at this point of the game, I was also screaming for Chop to pick up that wild turkey.
Mm.
Um,
Well, for the egg space as well.
yeah, for egg
Um,
space, and
Very nice.
we also missed that, he played the Oreo, which was,
Yes.
super nice play.
Yeah. 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 I think did they have to play that for the end of round at least, or it certainly helped for the end of round. But yeah, you see the kind of forest your opponent's got. They're going to want to be using that. So if you can get a little bit of extra free food,
Yeah,
that helps you a little bit.
yeah. And the wild turkey is so nice because he get cherry from Oreo and seed, like
Mm.
free seed from Crossbill. So,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You could probably play that for zero food. So
yeah.
yeah, very very nice.
Um, all right. I think he did eventually pick up the turkey, which I was super happy about.
Oh, is he going to take it?
Yes.
He's thinking. He's
Yeah.
thinking long and hard. There we go. Okay,
Right.
good.
There you go.
Sigh of relief.
Yep. Sign of relief. And it's,
Oh, and the double birds as well. That's
yep,
feels like a no-brainer to pick that one up.
right. With all the free food.
Yeah, it's weird this because I feel like Chop is. Oh, he didn't even
He
take
did
it.
not.
He's spending a lot of turns drawing cards, and
Yeah.
like it's only 1 point with the Martin. I mean, I know these can eventually be turned into points with the
Right.
Chaffinch, but this does feel like a little bit too many turns drawing cards
Yeah.
when you could be, playing some birds. I think it wouldn't be so bad if this wetlands was built out a little bit more and you were maybe
Yeah.
getting more cards or more points. But as it stands, it's not really that strong
Yeah.
for a round three.
I definitely felt like a little bit nervous with all the card
Mm,
draw, but I can tell you
yeah.
it ended up working quite well
Mm,
for Chop. So I think there are many ways you can play this hand with the
yeah.
setup. But yeah, so that was very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious if they do actually get this white stock down. I feel like they probably should
Yeah.
because it's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, kind of just looking at what Mother Love's been doing. It's kind of weird. They're going very heavy on like hunting
Predator,
birds,
yeah.
but I don't think they have falconer. So
I
I
think
don't know if
that
are they gambling that they might pick that up with the with the spotted owl or something.
I think they're just desperately trying to put
Mm,
together any sort of grassland engine,
yeah,
because that's
yeah,
just better than having no engine at all. So
yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I think the hawk and the roadrunner combined, it's not bad
yeah,
for the grasslands, and I'd imagine probably they might look to get that other hunting bird, or maybe the Benelli's eagle's going to go down at some point as well. So I think this kind of for Mother Love looks like they're sort of setting up to try and get 4 grassland birds, so they can just try and lay eggs in that last round and score points that way.
right. And White Stork is down. And again, the
Mm.
nice thing about White Stork is just it's a pure 8 points bird, which is
Yep.
so nice
Yeah.
and good utility
Yeah.
in this case.
Exactly. I mean, like you put the power to one side, like you say, it's still 8 points. Really, really nice. I think it helps for this end of round goal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Food, cost of birds, so really, really good for Chop there. And yeah, just getting a few extra cards to tuck with the Chaffinch. Yeah, you can't complain too much with that.
Yeah, you can see of the White Stork as maybe like a 1 point engine here.
Mm. Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it gets you the cards for tucking, but also it's that extra bird in the grasslands.
yeah,
The chaffinch. You can tuck behind as many birds as you've got in your grasslands. So obviously, the more birds you've got, the more you can tuck. So I think 4 is a good number to aim for. I think considering how many cards Chop has got, how many turns left to draw extra ones. Yeah, that's a good number to be getting
yeah,
to 4 tucks a turn.
yeah. And again, like Chop really luck out with their food here. Like they basically
Mm.
got food from Oreo and
Yeah.
Flycatcher and Free Seed. Like
Yeah, it's been a lot of co-op on the food, with the
yeah,
crossbill and the flycatcher and the hummingbird. So yeah, that I think the timing on that was really good to be able to get this turkey down. So that certainly worked out nicely for him.
yep. Now you open up a lot of space with the turkey. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah. Feels pretty straightforward at least. And yeah, Mother Love. I did think they'd probably get that kestrel down, but yeah, if you're Chop, you're looking at that, you think, oh, they've got rodentologist or falconer or something.
yeah. Start
I
to
think
sweat a
normally.
little bit.
Exactly. That's the only reason that someone would play all of these hunting powers in the grasslands like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's not bad. I think if they do add the Benelli's Eagle on top of that, I
mm,
think that's a pretty decent grasslands to be running for the end of the game.
yeah. I mean, again, just look at their card draw. They really just did not draw any other better engine bird in the
Mm,
grassland. So
yeah.
it's that mindset that you rather take something you can build than just keep gambling and
Well, exactly.
yeah.
I think it can depend what other birds you have. If you're in Chop's position, you've got the chaffinch, or like when they had the blackbird earlier that they could have potentially played something like that. It kind of gives you a bit more security in
Mm-hmm.
being able to spend extra turns drawing cards. I think for Motherlove, the kind of position they're in, they might draw cards. If you draw 3 cards that you're not going to use, you can't turn them into anything.
Yeah.
They're not really probably going to go for food again if they've not got anything worth playing. So they've not got any tucking birds. So yeah, I think you're right. There comes a point in this kind of game where you take what you've got and just kind of go with it. And yeah, something like the Kestrel is better than nothing and does at least build that Grasslands out and hopefully get a few more points.
Yeah. And just interesting to see like how quickly all the cards in Chop Hand just
Mm.
like gone with that
Yeah,
Chaffinch. It was just so
yeah,
hungry for cards.
exactly. Yeah, I am quite surprised that Motherlove went for cards there again. I felt like they could have just played the eagle and the owl
Mm.
and then laid eggs a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
And a clean end game there. Yep.
exactly. Well, I think they would have been. I think they would have been left with no cards left over and
Mm-hmm.
maybe only like 1 or 2 food. So
Yeah.
I think that would have been nice. But yeah, I don't know. That's another turn they just spent not scoring points.
That is true.
Um,
Would I
and they could
worry
have.
about like 8 spots maybe?
I don't know. I think they're fine. They could
Okay.
have played the eagle and laid eggs 4 times and been
Yeah.
fine.
I
So I think that's probably what they're going to do anyway here.
yeah. I think the Chop drew card as well, or maybe not.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so because he's got a few extras. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean he can, like we said before, he can kind of afford to
Yeah.
draw cards because they're all going to get turned into points. They're all
Yeah.
going to get tucked behind the chaffinch. So
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. I'll be interested to see if he plays this oyster catcher. That might be
Mm.
interesting because it is a couple of worms that he's got going to give you extra food. For me, it's probably between that and maybe the what is it, the whipping crane? Because I think if he's got Oologist, he needs one more.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
probably play one more and then just lay eggs.
Yeah. I kind of vaguely remember this. Like, yeah, I think the oyster catcher might be a good play as
Mm.
well. Just
Yeah.
getting the extra cards, especially this is also interesting because of the last end of round goes there. It's
Oh
cards in
yeah.
hand. Uh,
Oh, that's not what you want to see. So maybe that I would say that might explain why
Mother Love
Motherlove picked
pickup
up cards.
cards.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise they would have been left without any. So
Yeah.
I guess like you say, you kind of look at the chaffinch and you think that's just going to tuck everything. So I think Chop kind of maybe needs to be a little bit careful
Yeah.
and make sure that he's leave himself at least one. But for the rough as well, you need a few for the rough if you're going to maximize the points on that at the end
That
of the
is
game.
true.
So
There's so
uh,
many things to
lots
consider
of
here.
lots of variables.
Yeah, lots of variable. That's why I feel like yeah, I think again with lots of variable, but it's all about min maxing. But in terms of
Yeah,
like end game, it's still pretty straightforward for them both. Like, it's
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think it's mostly straightforward. I think some of it will depend on what the other player does. So, like, if you're Mother Love, you're kind of going to look at Chop and see how many birds he's got left, how many he's tucking. That will kind of, you know, give you a view on whether maybe I play something like the Bells Vireo here, um, or if you're going to maybe play the Spotted Owl and try and score points that way, or if you're better off just laying eggs and try and keep those birds to at least score points for that end of round goal.
Yeah. And
Not a great draw.
not a great draw. I mean, yeah, that's almost no. I think maybe. So what's the citizen? Yeah, that was interesting. So it was a citizen scientist, and
Mm.
the only way Mother Love could tug is with the Roadrunner. So they really needed that one hunt with Roadrunner to unlock that
Yeah,
citizen scientist.
yeah, because that gets them up to the minimum threshold, doesn't it?
Yep, yep. That was
So
some
suddenly that Roadrunner, it's not just worth 1 point; it's worth like 4 or 5
five. Yeah,
points. Yeah,
yeah. I remember that was so interesting.
damn,
On
a
the
lot at
other
stake.
hand,
Yeah.
Chop drew what was that? The diet specialist, and they scored the
Mm.
maximum for that, I
Yeah.
believe. So that was quite nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they comfortably got that. They already had 5 of those kind of birds down. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I like the Diet Specialist. I think that's a really strong bonus card.
yeah. Um, All right, model of one for the bonus card here.
Yeah.
Another gamble. I think is it worth it? So it's two.
Ooh. He's not playing the owl, is he? He's gonna surely he's just gonna lay eggs, or is he actually gonna gamble on this last turn?
Oh, I think he ended up doing because the woodpecker and owl give him the forester. His bonus cards was forester.
Oh, of course, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. And I
yeah,
guess it's one of those like you look at your opponent. I mean, like Chop, he surely is going to keep three birds at the end because he
yeah,
wants. Either you tuck those with the chaffinch and get a point, or you tuck them with the ruff and get a point.
yeah.
And if you tuck them with the ruff, it helps with the end of round goal. So I think that would make more sense if you're
Mm-hmm.
if you're Chop.
Yeah. And again, good reminder that, when you have oh, look at this, another dud. That was,
Ouch.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was,
that's where you're praying for rodentologist there because that'd be what 12 points. That'd be
yeah,
ridiculous.
that would have really, been
That could have
nice.
that could have changed the game.
Yeah. But again, oh, I guess I wanted to say for reminder, if you have the cards in hand end of round go, you can click on the end of round go to check
Yes.
how many cards your opponent has.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
don't have
the
to
only way.
guess. Yeah. You
It's the
don't have
only
to
way of checking.
guess.
But
Yeah.
all right, is Chop going to play this smart?
I mean, Chop is guaranteed winning already.
Yeah.
Even if
But
he
you keep
tucked the last, yeah,
yeah you keep three because either you get the tuck now or you get it with the rough.
it's
So
still
you may
one
as well get
point.
it
Yeah,
exactly. You may as well get it with the rough.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah. Very, very big board for both because of a lot of co-op
Lots of
going.
lots of birds. Exactly. Yeah. Co-op with the birds. Co-op with the food. So yeah, not surprising how many birds we got down, and yeah, the kind of scores look like they're going to be pretty high as well.
Oh yeah, it was a very good score.
It's going to be all these tuck cards, isn't it?
Oh yeah, all
Yeah,
the
there you
Taka.
go.
Look at that,
Very nice. Very
129.
nice.
Very nice game.
Good
Yeah,
game. Really
yeah.
strong score.
Very strong score. And again, I thought that was interesting, like going from the risky wetland
Mm.
starter for Chop and then obviously very lucky draw with the Chaffinch that allowed them to
Mm.
pivot and enable the high scores. So,
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it scored that high, to be honest. I mean,
mm-hmm.
the chaffinch is obviously a good bird.
Yeah,
A lot of those turns at the end, he's getting four eggs and four tuck cards, and
yeah,
that's massive points at the end of the game.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess maxing out two bonus cards that helps. But
yeah.
yeah, a lot of tuck cards.
The
Certainly,
rough.
yeah. The rough. That
Yeah,
what did he get? Did he manage to max out the 12 on that? That's
yep,
that's so huge. I think in a
yeah.
in a game like this.
And the amount of free food that Chop got throughout the game also like
Mm,
just built the tempo so quickly.
yeah, yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, that was the game. I thought that was a really interesting one. Like we say, I
Mm,
felt like there was many paths to go down with what
yeah,
Chop has here, but I thought the pivot is nice. Yeah. Any concluding thought on this game?
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I think kind of looking back, the chaffinch definitely Chop managed to make the most of that.
Yeah,
And yeah, like you said, just getting all those tuck cards, you can quite easily score massive points as he showed in this game.
yeah, absolutely. Really showcase the power of new European expansion birds here.
Yep.
So as always, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.